see where we're at.
Okay. Zach Osman, you got the first question.
You talked about rotations and things like that. In an exhibition setting, kind of what's the balance you strike between wanting to maybe get a lot of different guys some looks, but also as a coach, wanting to get your first look at who you think really fits into maybe that tight core?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think, a lot of times you go into the deal with a scripted sort of first half rotation, giving guys either big windows or even opportunities to get small windows, and then as the second half comes, you sort of want to get the feel for the game. I think that's always been our philosophy. As we go into tomorrow, it's a little bit uncharted water for me, as the coach and our staff, because we haven't coached these guys in the games. You don't know what to expect, but I think everyone that's available to play in the game will get an opportunity at some point in time, to see what they can do. But for me, I'm really looking forward to putting a group out there that can play well, and whoever's playing well is going to play, and we're going to try and win the game.
Pete?
Archie, where do you see yourself at, offensively and defensively? And I know obviously you're still putting some things in, but how do you assess that?
I'd say we probably, from an offensive standpoint, we're right in line where my teams have been heading into the first exhibition. It's probably about 75, 80%. Defensively, probably about the same. Right where we're heading into this opportunity to play tomorrow is pretty much where our teams have been at the same stature in years past. So I think the big thing for tomorrow, since it's the first time for this group, there's only going to be 5 guys on the court. They got some guys sitting on the bench for the first time. So this is a realization of wow, minutes and all that stuff starts to get devied out, and what you're doing in practice every day is going to be, so to speak, what you've earned. But I would say we're right in line, 75, 80%. We have some ways to go offensively. Defensively, I think our base is in. We just have to we have to be able to be a little bit more complex, playing against different styles, which obviously that's going to happen with scouting and whatnot. But we're right where we should be.
Stuart?
Coach, are there any players that you expect to be limited at all or withheld from Saturday's exhibition? There was some held out for precautionary reasons, obviously, last week.
Yeah, last Friday night we had 3 guys that were held out due to precautionary, and I think that as we head into the Marian game tomorrow, unless something changes significantly, I think that Al Durham and Colin Harton will both be held out of the game. Again, precautionary stuff. Colin has an ankle right now that's coming back off a pretty good sprain, so there's no reason to do anything with him right now other than get him full strength. And Al has dealt with a hamstring issue. Unfortunately for him, this is the second time it's kind of been tweaked, so we don't want this to linger for him. So I could see where those 2 guys will be out. Josh is full go in practice yesterday, so barring something today, we'll probably head into the game tomorrow with at least 2 guys not playing.
Yeah.
Coach, what's the biggest adjustment this team has had to make with you coming in and your defensive style being 104th last year and last in the Big Ten to getting up to your standards?
We're working hard at it. I think, it's, one thing about defense is it's just the same as offense. As you watch guys develop, most people will focus on their development as a player on the offensive end of the floor. And what nobody really kind of understands is if you play a certain defense every single day of practice and you get older as a sophomore or junior, you're developing, you know what you're doing. And I think the one thing that's unique here, we haven't had to do this in a long time, but we're teaching the seniors the same as we're teaching the freshmen. So it's a group of people having to learn at the same time with no evidence of somebody, hey, this is how you do it. Watch this junior or senior, on film in practice or what that. So everybody's learning the same. And as I've watched our practices, I think our effort level is good. I think our technique is pretty good, but where our positioning, our connectedness, our communication, those type of things, we're at the grade low level, and you can only get so good in practice. Eventually you have to see yourself, versus another team on film and video, and I think that really increases and speeds up the learning curve. But it's a challenge. I mean, these guys are learning new, and I know what's going to happen is everything we talk about every day in practice is there, and then once you get into the game and fatigue starts to set in, you're tired in subs, you're going to watch us on defense at times struggle. I know that will be the fact, but I think we're right where we should be in terms of this group. I think they understand how important it is. They understand what we do every day in practice. They're starting to get accustomed to how we practice. It's a much different style of practice than they've been used to in the past, and the physicality of what we're doing. I think guys are starting to absorb that as well. So, you know, I like where we're at. I like their buy-in, and you know, I think it's not going away. It's just an everyday process.
Jeremy?
How does maybe things change in terms of establishing sort of a game day routine? How do you kind of go about it?
Yeah, you know, you get so entrenched in your own personal game day routine with your staff, and your team knows what to expect on game day. This will be the first time tomorrow that we actually go through what a normal game day approach for us would be. You know, our staff going through it for the first time. And I think it's good to play a Saturday night game where they're not in class. I prefer to have one exhibition game during the weekly schedule, so they actually have to adjust through the classes during the day and all that. But it's definitely a change for everybody. You know, learning how everything works around here that you like, and if you don't like it, how do you change it? But I think that you know, it'll be a little bit different than they're accustomed to, but they'll get used to it quick because we play a lot of games.
Seth?
For the newer guys who are able to go, how important is it that they use the exhibitions to shake off any butterflies they have before the regular season starts?
Yeah, I think it's always a great opportunity to play in front of you know, crowds. You know, I think the Hoosier area the other night, being able to play in front of that type of a crowd is probably a good thing. You know, for those guys to be in there and understand what it feels like. But you know, when it counts for real, you know, there's a winner and a loser. You know, obviously you want to see who can not shy away from the moment, who's doing what you're asking them to do, rather than sort of not focusing in on, you know, what they're worried about and whatnot. But they'll get used to it. I think they got to, you know, they got to get broken in. You know, guys have to get out there and play, make mistakes. You know, they have to, you know, find ways to get better. But I think all of our guys will be ready to play.
Josh?
Just Coach, scouting Marian, what kind of do you see as maybe any challenges there, and the fact that they haven't played any games any games yet, like you guys? So.
Well, it's a brand new regime there. You know, with Coach coming in, Carmel. I think they have 6 new faces, maybe 6 or 7 new faces that they're adding into the mix. So, you know, they're probably a lot like us, where they're getting ready to get started. I'm not as concerned about the scouting element of things in this first one. It's more about what we're going to be trying to accomplish and executing our system on the fly against somebody else, having to make some adjustments during the game and seeing who can execute, you know, what we're trying to do every day, regardless of who we're playing. So it'll be more in that mode. But you know, I think it's going to be good to be out there against somebody doing something that they haven't seen.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.